Difference of southern girls and northern girls. Southern girls, they yell. Northern girls don't. Southern girls, uh, uh, they say things. Some are real, some are not. But northern girls are real automatically, more direct, which is actually can be a good thing. Because when you talk to them, you know what you're getting automatically. You know, um, it's a misconception that northern girls will say "fuck off." I talked to a northern girl at a gas station, and it was very nice. Very helpful. Um, I went to New York in the country, and people were very nice there. Um, the guy was helpful. I didn't get any mean stares, because obviously when I go to the South, they think you're a Yankee or a Northern accent. They're gonna give you mean stares and give you a hard time. Uh, but I was just normal here. It was kind of night and day. Um, so that's the stereotypes of North and South. The North stereotypes is everybody's rude, everybody's mean. It's not true, not at all. And then the Southern stereotypes is everybody's redneck and backwards, and that's true to an extent, but that's not everybody, but it could be a majority, because Southerners have their own heritage and their own beliefs and tradition, and that's how it kind of leans back. Um, I also talked to a girl that lives in the Bronx, and she actually took the train in New York, and she never got robbed at all. Uh, she, I was saying, is that true? That people look at you mean way, they start fighting and going crazy. And she's like, no, she took the train, and she lived like all her life in the Bronx, and she never got robbed. So obviously, folks, times are changing. You know, um, the North is getting better, and the South is still have their own traditions and beliefs. Unfortunately, and they're not welcoming to the Yankees, which is crazy because I never even lived up north. My friends from Europe, but I don't know, maybe the accent or something. So and I'm like super nice to everybody. Um, I mean, so and this other stereotype is like all Northerners are aggressive and want to start fights and stuff. This is all stereotypes. Times are changing. Um, Now I'm gonna break it down from regions and the differences. I did say the West and the Midwest was the best. Well, actually, I have to say, uh, I think the best people, from my experience, I've traveled all over, is the North and Midwest. Here's why: the South is fake, and the West is fake too, but a different kind of fakeness. So I prefer the West, but it's different kind of fakeness. But with the Midwest and the North, the people are real. When you go to the auto mechanic, ask all the questions, they're gonna give you all answers full, no sugarcoating. That's actually I like that a lot. I like the realness. Um, Now, the difference between Midwest and Northeast, that the Midwest is very cold. I mean, well, where I went, it was more. It's like 10 degrees chillier than the Northeast. So while the Midwest gets colder, the Northeast can get more snow, and I actually prefer more snow than chilly, because even South Dakota was actually pretty chilly. But then when I went to a New York gas station, it was actually it wasn't chilly. It was different. I think because the Northeast, the ocean resides on the Atlantic, and that's where the hot air comes from, and a cool air. Whereas in the Midwest, it's straight up where the lakes are, and that's where it's cold. And then the west, like Colorado and other states, South Dakota, is the mountains, which actually reaches the air colder than the lakes, and in fact can get colder in some aspects. You know, there's blizzards in Seattle and Denver, and Seattle's had one time 7 foot of snow in Redmond, Washington. You can actually watch it on YouTube. That was crazy. I've lived in Redmond, so that was pretty crazy. And they have blizzard too. Um, and let me think. Um, what else? Oh yeah, so since the cold air resides in the mountains quicker, and then the topography is different. It's actually similar. The topography of Washington State and New York, it's very similar. Believe it or not, if you keep on driving in New York, like in the countryside, there's like mountains, just like Washington State, and the highways are similar, and like you go through this with the woods, and then boom, there's a highway, and there's back roads. Yep, even in New York, I mean, all states have their gems, and then Montana. The topography is kind of strange. You wouldn't think that the shape of Colorado, the elevation is the highest in the United States, which it actually is, in the mountains. And it actually makes sense when you think of Washington with the mountains. Okay, yeah, because you're so high up in Montana. But you wouldn't think Colorado, though. So that's kind of strange and interesting. The topography. And okay, and then so basically, and then like South Dakota, it's got, and Wyoming's got places where you have no GPS, where you have like no reception in Montana as well, and South Dakota has like deserts and their highways out of the middle of nowhere, and then you actually have like New York where you're West Point, you have you're just going around the mountain in New York, and you can just get totally lost because the signs are crazy, and you just keep on going around the mountains, which I did kind of get lost even with GPS. And Seattle, Washington State, they're so weird. Like the numbers are all numbers. So the streets like 1555, 146 Street Avenue. It's like all numbers. Just like probably like one of the most confusing because if you don't have GPS, you really would get lost because there's just too many numbers and names. What they say about Georgia too, like everything's like Peachtree Street, Peachtree Road, but it's just like nothing. Washington State's like much harder because it's just numbers, and they don't go in order too. They're random. You think they go in order. So yeah, my experience, the people is better in Midwest and Northeast because of the realness, and niceness too. But I mean, from my experience, if you treat somebody with niceness and kindness, you will get that back. I mean, I've been to Illinois, I've been to Ohio, I've been to, all around the Midwest. So it's a new generation. Now, what would this succession do if it takes place? Hopefully for the better. I mean, I don't want states divided from Iraq, but I'll just have to move like Canada, because places will be like Iran or something. But so yeah, I mean, people say New York is like the toughest and stuff, but I've went to like the countryside, and people are just, you would think they're kind of like Southerners in a way, but no means stairs, because they don't care who you are, and because the Southerners have that bitterness towards the North, maybe Alabama's an exception, but I lived in Georgia 20 years, and yeah, so it's definitely better for me. I guess if you don't have the northern accent, of course, that's what people say. Well, I got be great in the South because, well, yeah, if you don't have the northern accent, you'll be treated real nice. How I know this? Because I said I was from Georgia, which I was. But then I just had and they were treating me all nice and smiling. But then when my accent came out, they gave that means. They're like, they just started treating me differently. Cause yeah, that's the review. All right, I gotta go. Let me know if you want to hear more videos.